We live. Bam, bam, bam. What's happening, coaches? How we doing today, man? For my coaches who are out in the Midwest, I hope you guys are staying warm because it is very chilly outside. I think when I checked on the way to work today, I want to say it was like 8 degrees in a sense. But anyway, so if you guys are in the Midwest, like I said, I hope you guys are warm. Hope you guys having you had a great break or whatever, or a great little 5 day break if you're in Kansas City area, or 4 day break, excuse me. So let me get right into it. A little quick video. I've been having this on my mind for about a week now, and I could have did this video at home, but I prefer to do it at school just because I have a better whiteboard here, and my whiteboard at home kind of leans in a sense. So I just wanted to do this video here. But anyway, as you guys read the topic, my video today is about coaching in low income schools. All right. Obviously, this is something that I think a lot of coaches can benefit from. Not more so your coaches who already work in those low income areas because they know how those are, but my coaches who probably never worked in a low income school before. So I just kind of want to give you at least my viewpoint of what I deal with here at Schlagle High School. So if you guys don't know, my name is Coach O'Neill. I'm the office coordinator here at Schlagle High School, located here in Kansas City, Kansas. This is my first year here in this district, first year coaching and teaching in Kansas City, Kansas Public Schools. So we are kind of high in low and free and low and reduced lunch. I guess is how you pronounce it or say it. But anyway, we're high in low and free reduced lunch. However you put it. But anyway, so that means we deal with a lot of low income, poverty, high minority kids here. And so, like I said, I wanted to kind of jump on that topic just because I know there are some coaches who probably never coached in a low income environment or a tough environment, if that's what a lot of people like to call it. But anyway, so these are things that I observed and learned while coaching in low income environments. This is not my first rodeo coaching in a low income environment. I actually coached in actually three. Really, one of the three I wouldn't consider a low income environment, but due to statistics, they technically are. Basically, those schools are your Winnetonka High School in Kansas City, North Kansas City, Missouri. I also coached in Jasper High School, which is located in Jasper, Texas. I consider that a low income area, or not even a low income area, just a high. When I'm saying low income, I use that title just because I feel like saying high minority will kind of be a little touchy title to tap onto. So I'd rather use that to be politically correct. So when I'm saying low income guys, I'm speaking on ethnicity and everything else when it comes to that fashion. So I don't want you to just think I'm just talking about economics and financial. I'm actually speaking on minorities and all this stuff in that fashion. So anyway, those schools I worked at as well as here at Schlagle. So the one thing with being a coach in a low income area, these are things that pretty much comes with the territory of with the job. All right. So one thing I've learned, you're gonna have to be a father figure. All right. You're gonna have to play that father role for some of your young guys, due to the fact that some of these young men really do not have fathers in their household. Some of them actually might not even have family, mother or father in the household due to drugs, gang relation, maybe jail, sentencing, anything in that fashion. So some of these kids are missing that father figure. And when I'm speaking to kids, obviously coaches, I'm speaking to football players because I'm a football coach. So like I said, coaching in these environments, this is one of the things, the number one thing that I've noticed that, I had to pretty much become with as being a coach. Obviously I'm a father myself. So, it was pretty natural being a father to fathering young men and mentoring young men. All right. The next thing that comes. So anyway, the next thing that comes to the fashion, you want to be their best friend. All right. Now, some coaches have that fine line where they play kind of teeter tot from best friend and being a freaking brother in a sense. And what I mean by that is you're giving the kid too much leeway to make mistakes, to create error. All right. Obviously, with being a best friend, if you're a good friend, when I'm saying being a best friend, being a good friend, and generally we all have good friends who we consider our best friend. So what I mean by best friend is a guy who's going to tell that kid right from wrong. Is going to be there for that kid when he makes a mistake. Going to direct that kid into the right direction towards making positive decisions and stuff in that fashion. Excuse me, got some people contacting me. But you're gonna pretty much direct that kid and help them lead into the right direction. All right. So that's what being a good friend is. You don't want your friend to follow down a path where they could potentially harm themselves or do things in the fashion that can potentially put the team, not only themselves, but put the team in a situation where they struggle, all right, due to decision making. So you have to be a best friend as well as a father. So you have to know how to play that fine line and know when to be real stern with the guys and let them know your expectations. Always maintain your expectations with these guys. And then you have to know when to step back from maintaining expectations and meet them on their levels to let them know that, I'm human as well. I've been there. I've done that. I understand what you're going through, or I probably went through a similar path. Might not be the same deal, but I went through the similar path. And, so this is what I would do, give them steps on what they should do and kind of help them along the way. All right. So another deal that you should do, and it kind of falls in the line of, father. Those three things, you can use them all in one big, you can mesh it all together basically. But you got to be a mentor as well. Just like I was speaking on, man, you with being the best friend, you also got to be a mentor. You also got to tell these kids, not tell them, but teach them exactly the right things or the right way in order to be a good civilian, a good young man, and a good athlete. One thing that, generally some coaches, I'm not going to say all, but just one thing some coaches do, instead of focusing on developing the young man into a successful young man into society, a lot of coaches rather focus on winning and losing, which, I'm not going to lie to you, when I first began this profession, or when I first began my career as a football coach, my whole thought process was all about the wins and the losses. I had to. That was what my mind track was on. I was thinking, if you don't win, you don't have your job. If you don't win, you won't have a successful coaching career. Now, after my first master's, I had my first master's in sports and positive coaching from the University of Missouri. Great program, by the way. If you guys are looking to do a master's program, it's all about coaching. Just a free advertisement for those guys. But like I said, when I got my first master's in that subject, in that field, it pretty much altered my whole way of thinking, guys. Right? I went from being a person about the wins and losses, and I started understanding that it's about developing that young man and growing him into being a lifelong winner. All right. One thing that my recruiting coach taught me, and like I said, I tell this to my guys during the football season. Whenever I'm giving them a spiel, a speech or anything, ranting, if you want to call it. The one thing that my coach told me, Coach Barry Rave, he's the defense coordinator in Bethany, I believe, right now. But his speech we had before, and this was during my college days when I was playing. We had special team meetings, and he said this speech. He said, "There's two types of people in this world, fellas. You're either a born winner or you're a born loser. All right, you can't pick either side. You have to be either one or the other. So born winners have requirements. Born losers have requirements. So depending on what requirements you're doing, that lets you know what you're going to be. All right. So if you're doing things that falls in the category of born loser, then that's the path you're gonna remain on until you change your requirement and change your ways. So being a mentor is basically teaching these kids, how to be a born winner. You want to teach these kids how to be a born winner. All right. Another thing that comes with coaching in low income areas. Write this down for you. So what I put was drift away from the norm. All right. What I've learned here at Schlegel, this environment that these kids are in, it's a tough environment. All right. Obviously, guys who grew up in high minority or high crime areas understand what I'm talking about. I was one of the product kids who came from a high minority, high poverty area growing up, and you do see this, but you want to drift away from your norms. So that was something that me as a young athlete at the time that I was competing in sports, that's something that I mentally was teaching myself as I grew into the man that I am, that I did not want to be the product, a true product of my environment. All right. And what I mean by a true product is doing the same exact things that I see everyone on the regular do on a regular basis. Some of these young men here, when they leave this school and they go off into their own private lives, I mean, they're already being hit with negativity. They're already being hit with adversity. They're already being hit with people saying that you can't do, you won't do, there's no chance you can do. So why not be that person or that coach to drift them away from the norm? One thing that I brag about myself is, even though I come from an environment that was generally tough in Beaumont, Texas, if you guys don't know anything about Beaumont, Texas, I want to say two years ago, we was ranked the #3 dumbest city in the United States of America. Now, that is nothing to brag about, only in the sense I can brag in the sense of where I am now. Even though I came from that environment, I made my way out and I did the right things. I had great coaches by my side. Those coaches were my motivator. All right, coaches gave me that light that I needed to become the man that I am. So I wanted to be like the coaches who trained me, who prepared me for college and everything like that. I want to be like those guys. So they drifted me away from the normal of what I saw on a regular basis. All right, obviously I saw drugs, I saw gang violence, crime. I saw all that stuff growing up, man, but I did not want to be a product of that and be the same thing. There's numerous guys that I grew up with who were freaking just great athletes, man. I'm talking about Division I products. Some of them could actually been league ready, but the only issue was up here they lost those keys. They lost those keys that can help them get over that hump. And now those same guys who had those opportunities to be great guys are still back home now in Beaumont, Texas. I'm not gonna say living a rough life. They're just living a life that could have been different if they would have had those same keys or had that same information that I found and stored in myself. So you want to drift your guys away from the norm of what they see on a regular basis. Like I said, when I'm here, I carry myself in a different manner, man. I try to carry myself as professional as I can, but at the same time, I want to be at the same level as my guys here, my students here, to let them know that I am a human being and I do understand where they come from and what their lives are. So I'm not a hard ass all the time. I am a hard ass, but I'm not a hard ass all the time. I know how to play that line and talk to kids and understand what the kid needs to know or what the kid needs to listen to at that time frame. So drifting away from the norm is something that I think is a big deal that you should do. All right. Now this is another thing, and this is a big one. All right. This is big, coaches. Sorry if I scratched that out. But be you. All right. That is big when being a football coach. And that doesn't matter. Being you doesn't matter what ethnicity you are. All right. If you're a white coach, a white male coach who's coaching in a high minority area, it doesn't matter. If you're original and you who you are, those kids are going to accept you. Like I was always taught when I was a young coach, these kids are not dumb. These kids understand and know when a coach is sincere, when a coach is there for them, when a coach want to be there, and when a coach wants to help them. All right. So if you showing those keys and you're sincere about your profession, you're sincere about changing these young men's lives, they will sense that, they will see that, and they will feed off that, and they will start drawing themselves to you. All right. If you come in there with a whole fake persona, these kids know that automatically you have a fake persona because they deal with that on a regular basis. They deal with people who are fake, who are out to get them, who really want them to have negative aspects in their lives, not positive. They deal with that, so they can easily read that. So don't be that coach that comes in and try to change who you are when you know that's not you, because people can read that, they can see that. So you always want to be you. All right. You always, no matter if it's, like I said, if it's not the norm from what they see, I promise you, 90 to 95% of your athletes will draw to you just because you're being original, you're being who you are, you're showing that you're there for them, and it's not what they see on a regular basis. So they're going to start drifting towards you in order to be something like you or follow around the same path, man. That's something. Like I'll give you a prime example. My high school coach, Coach Don Stowers, all right, great man, great man. He brought us one game away from a state championship my junior year of high school, man. And, I had a hell of a career under him. But the one thing that I talk to everybody about when I mention his name is the type of man that he was or is. I'm never going to say was because he still is to this day. But the type of man that he presented himself to us when he was our athletic director, head coach at Central High School, man. This guy here carried himself at the top level, man. I mean, he was a different type of black male that I didn't see on a regular basis. All right. Normally in my environment, you see a lot of black males who probably, I don't want to say, or their intentions were not to see you succeed. All right. Their intentions was for their benefit. But he came in and he showed us that you can be a different person to be successful. You can drift away from where you come from and be who, and pretty much create the person that you want to be and not have to be that person that comes from that environment. So this man, like I said, Coach Donald Stowers, man, he was a great influence in my life, man. He never cursed around us, all right? So he didn't allow cursing. Profanity was a no-no, even with coaches. If he called the coaches, I remember one time him and our offensive coordinator, Coach Waters, got into it, and it was the only time I heard him cuss because we was in the playoffs and it was a heated practice, and everybody was just all passion was there, man. And that's the only time. And he didn't even say a curse, a serious curse word, just some minor. I can't even remember it, but I knew it wasn't no serious word. But that was the only time I heard. Other than that, he taught us that you don't have to do those things in order to be a successful person. You can be something different. So that man right there, he's a prime example of exactly who I am right now. So when you see me and you see me, the way I carry myself professionally is due to him, is due to the guys that was on his coaching staff, because those guys taught us the correct way to do things, the right way to be a person who, just because you come from here, that doesn't mean you have to act like you come from there. All right, you can be a better version of what it is. You can represent your family and your school and your friends in a higher demeanor than you think. So that's something that, like I said, Coach Donald Stowers, man, and you will be amazed, man, when you show these things here. When you show these things here to kids, man, the one thing that will happen, you will start to create a relationship, a lifelong relationship that will last forever. And I'm a product of that as well. I still talk to every coach, or pretty much majority every coach, on a personal level. Not even on how you doing, coach? Nice to meet you. Hope everything's good. Hope the family's none of that. No, like when I talk to guys, they asking about my family, how I'm doing, how's the coaching stuff going. They pick my brain for us knowledge. They want to see where I'm at for us. They're really there to see me. They want to see me prosper. All right. So that's the relationship that you end up creating if you do all of these things here. All right. If you do all those things there, man, you're going to create a friendship or a brotherhood that's going to last eternally, where those kids are going to come back once they leave high school. They're going to come check up on you. They want to see how you're doing. They want to see the team. They want to be a part of the team. Want to see those young guys who are next up, see what they're doing. They want to be a part of it. And the crazy thing about it, even the young men who probably missed that step while they was in high school and they caught it afterwards, those the same ones who are going to come back and they're going to, coach, I appreciate you, what you was trying to teach me, man. You taught me something that maybe I didn't catch on then, but I definitely got it now. And it has changed my life for the better. So I appreciate you'll have that type of relationship. So that's the benefit of being, if you're doing those things in a low-income area. Now, I will say personally, I prefer coaching in a low-income schooling area. The reason why, because these kids, they have a chip on their shoulder, right? The ones who mentally have it and they're psychologically there where they want to be successful, they already have the keys that they want to use to open those doors. Those kids are gonna carry themselves with a high demeanor. They're gonna work their ass off. They're gonna work their ass off in the weight room. They're gonna bust their ass in the classroom. When you see them, they're always doing the right things. They're gonna carry themselves the correct way. Obviously, they might make mistakes. They're young. They're teenagers, and that comes with the territory. But for the most part, they're gonna represent themselves and do all the right things to be their best due to you. All right, due to you coming in there and doing these things for them. Because, like I said, those kids, most of these kids in these low-income areas, do not have any of these things. Most of them really don't have fathers. Most of them probably don't have someone they can call a best friend or a friend they can run to and talk to that is an adult. When I'm saying best friend, their peers is different from us. So when a kid can come and talk to you about his personal issues in his own life, that shows that he trusts you. That shows that he sees something in you that he can come to you about and really express himself and show his true feelings. So that's a positive deal. And that shows that friendship, mentoring, like I said, coming, giving those kids good advice, telling those kids what they should do that will help them, and not telling them something that would drift them to beyond that they don't even know, and you don't even know the results of it. So you want to give them advice. Like what I do, like I said, I always try to use my life as a pathway. All right. So obviously I understand guys are not going to follow the same road that I went down, but I can at least give them a starting point. So I'm big on using my own life, my success and my flaws as something they can use so they can use and learn from. So that's another thing. Drift away from the norms. Again, guys, you want them to do things that they're not normal, that they're not accustomed to doing on the regular. Right? You want them to see things and do things that they don't come in contact with in their own personal lives, so they can see that there is something outside of the environment they come from. All right, being you, number. That's the biggest deal out of it all. That's the reason I put a box there. But that's the biggest deal out of it all. You have to be original. All right, be originally who you are. Don't ever go into if you're a new coach going into a new program with a new set of kids, you don't want to walk in there with this fake persona, because now you done created this foundation of fake. And now you have to find a way to either clean that up and find a way for these kids to try to trust you, or these kids are going to operate, not going to like you, not going to trust you, not going to buy into whatever you bring into the table. So being original, being who you are, is a key piece to making sure that all of this stands strong. All right, you can't be fake and then try to be a father figure. Like, it doesn't work that way. it doesn't work that way. You can't be a fake guy and then try to mentor a kid into doing the right thing, because they're going to look at you like, how can I know you're telling me the truth? You know, how can I know that you're really giving me information that's going to benefit me and my success? All right. So these things right here are key. All right. And the last thing that you want to do when working coaching in a low income environment, help these guys. You want to help these guys. All right. This is the last thing that you want to do. Now, when I'm saying help these guys, I'm not saying break your back and, you know, do above and beyond, but helping them with whatever they would, you know, I'm not going to say the little things, but when they come to you to talk to you about if they need help with something, be willing to put your hand out. You know, don't sit there and ponder on it and think about it. I don't know. It's taken away from what, you know, your whole reason for being a coach is to benefit these kids and to help these kids prosper in their own personal lives. So if you're not there as a coach to help these young men, what are you there for? All right. What is the point of you being there? If you're not there to teach these young men how to be successful or be positive products in their environment, what is your point of coaching in a low income environment? What is your point of being there? All right. It seems like you're there for a check, not there for the kids. So help your young men, because those young men probably won't have help. Some of those young men, when you come in contact with them, never even known. They probably, some of them, and I've dealt with it here. Some of these young men never even known how to go through a proper recruiting process. I'm just speaking on that sense, just because that's what I've dealt with here. Some of these young men haven't came in contact how to talk to coaches when they come into the school. They don't know what to say. They get shell shocked. Their eyes get big, and they looking around like, oh no, what the hell do I say? What do I ask? Be that person, be that anchor for those guys to make sure that they do, or they go into the right path and to be successful. All right. So you want to help your guys out, man. That's the biggest thing. I would say this is real big, but these two things right here should go hand in hand, just off the fact that when you're working in a low income environment, these kids they don't come in contact with this every day in their lives. All right. They don't come in contact with these things on the regular. So if you come in as a coach and you bring this to the table, you bring this as your foundation, you're going to have kids buy in. And I'm not going to say you're going to have, don't let me sit here and make it seem like they're 100% buy-in from all your kids. That's possibly not true, but you're going to have a larger number of kids buy into what you're bringing to the table instead of anything else. So, like I said, as far as this gentleman, the reason why I wanted to do this video to benefit you guys. All right. So, like I said, I know there's probably some coaches who probably never coached in a low-income environment, or probably is about to coach their first time in a low-income environment and don't know what to expect. If you be who you are, which that's the one thing, if you take away from this video, this is the one thing that I want you to take away, is being original. If you bring this as your foundation, everything else is going to be easy. Everything else is going to be a cakewalk, because you're going to have your young men follow in line. You're going to see you're a proper leader because you're original, and they're going to want to make you proud. They want to meet your expectations. All right. So this should be the foundation of it all. You have to be original in order for all this to sustain successfully. You have to make sure that you take care of this part. All right. Being you. And then once you set that tone of, you know, your originality and what your persona is, this comes into the next part. All right. That comes in next. And then the rest of this stuff falls in line. All right. The rest of it falls in line. But these two things are important. You have to be, if you're working in an environment that's a low income area, guys, you have to be willing to help these young men, because some of these young men, if you don't help them, they probably won't have no help. They probably won't have the opportunity that they need in order to get out of their community. All right. So, and that's like I said, that's something that I've learned here. That's something I'm still learning as a coach in my own career. You know, finding that nice point that I can, you know, that wherever I go, it's my foundation, or it's what I believe in, it's what I stand for, and these kids will rapidly buy into it. So, like I said, guys, this is the whole point of this video. Just wanted to give you my opinion or my thought process when it comes to coaching in low-income environments or really high minority environments. If you want to be really technical about it, it's what I'm speaking on. But these are just keys, little keys to open doors, man. Like I said, it doesn't matter what ethnicity you are. As long as you come in with this mentality, it doesn't matter who you are, what you look like, man. Those kids are going to buy in because they know that you're original and you're there for them. All right. As long as you do those two things, your foundation is set solid and strong, and you can build off the rest. Like I said, you're not going to be a father figure to a lot of kids. Some kids might not want you to be the father figure, excuse me. Some kids will have you as a best friend. Some of them will see you as a friend because, like I said, some of them don't have really adults who they can go to and talk about their personal issues. I mean, with being a coach, you're automatically a mentor. If you don't see that, then I think you need to go to coaching school or something. if you don't know off rip that being a coach is a mentor, then something's wrong there. Like I said, again, drifting away from the norms, get them away from what they see on the regular. All right, be who you are and do things that they don't see normally, because that's going to do positive things. Do things that can help mold them into successful young men. All right, don't be doing just off the wall stuff. Do positive things that can drift them and mold them successfully to be successful young men, successful students, successful athletes. All right. Again, like I said, the last two, be original and help these guys, man. So anyway, like always, guys, just a heads up. Like always, but just a heads up. I will have guest speakers on here. I will have Coach Elliott Wilson. He's my fraternity brother, but he's also a strength and conditioning coach located in St. Louis, Missouri. He runs his own business called Horsepower. I believe that's the actual name. I'm going to have him on here, just to give his spiel about a little bit about strength and conditioning, but he also wants to talk about, how to sustain your own business and financial literacy. All right, when sustaining your own business athletic wise, because that's basically what he's in. So he trains athletes. He's helping athletes prepare for college. He's training high school athletes. He's also a high school football coach. So the guy, he's making a lot of positive things move in St. Louis. So, and I just wanted him to I'm going to have him on him. I want him to have time to, express his things that he do to create his success, and, talk about financial literacy when having your own business. I think that's important, especially when it relates to athletics, because I don't know, some of you coaches might have your own personal little side hustle of personal training where you're training kids to prepare for college athletics, or you're just training kids in general, just prepare for the high school season or middle school. It doesn't matter, but you're a personal trainer either way it goes. So I'm going to have him on here. I'm also going to have Coach Gio Lyons. He's the head basketball coach here at Schlegel High School on here. Like I said, man, even though I talk football all day, every day, I will have guys on here who coach different sports to give you guys different tastes of things. I don't want to be football 24/7, even though I'm going to be football 98% of the time. I do want to give things that's a little bit different, but it still relates to high school sports. So I'll have Coach Gio Lyons here. I'll have another guest, Coach Jacoby Bellard. He was a teammate in college. When we played football together in college, Missouri Valley. He was the wide receiver coach at Central Methodist University. He's going to come over here. He's going to talk probably some receiver things, some drills, routes, and stuff like that. So I have Coach Ken Davis. He's defensive coordinator right now at Benton High School, located in St. Joe, Benton, Missouri. I have him on here to talk some defense. I think that's what a lot of coaches would actually like that, even because I talk offense all day. I'm not a defensive guy. I like points. I don't like stopping people from scoring. So anyway, I'll have him on here. So I have a whole line of things. Excuse me. I have a whole line of guests that I want to bring to you guys, present to you guys. So as always, I always encourage, if you guys want to be a part of the show, if you guys got information you want to put out, please hit me up on Twitter at Coach O223. I'm always on there willing to talk ball, talk sports, exchange materials, anything in that fashion. I do it all, man. I'm an open book when it comes to this coaching thing, just because I want all coaches to prosper and be their best. Unless you're on my schedule, then when you play us, I want you to fail miserably. Miserably. But other than that, man, for all you other coaches, man, who are out there, man, like I said, I'm here. I'm an open book. I'll share my materials with you guys if you want to do that. Like I said, I'm always offering people to come on here, man. I just want to expand this channel and expand this for all coaches and every coach that alike, young coaches, old coaches, it doesn't matter. We all can learn from each other. So, like I said, follow me on Twitter if you haven't. Like and share this video. I'm like I said, I'm keeping this material coming for you guys. I want to build something here. I want to build something here that makes it that everybody can come on and talk and give their knowledge out to the world along with myself. So other than that, guys, if nobody ever told you, let me be the first to tell you, you're awesome. Keep being freaking awesome. And next video, like I said, besides the guys I got coming on, next video, I think I'll be discussing possibly another run game concept. If not, for sure, I'll probably be talking about progression pass. But I'm just giving you all the stuff that I have in line later on, so you won't be shocked when you pop on and see me on there. So I'm just giving you all the things that I have scheduled, and these are scheduled for you guys, and we'll just go from there. So again, like and share this video. Follow me on Twitter, Coach O223. If you want to talk ball, if you want to be a part of the show, if you want to just throw me some material or throw me some ideas, man, I'm innovative. I'm an open book. I'm not no stuck up guy or no stuck up coach who listens to only myself and no one else. No, I want to learn just like you guys want to learn. I'm not no John Madden, but with the age that I am and with what I know as far as the game and how I was taught the game on a high level from high level guys in the collegiate level, working under those guys and coming down to high school level. I'm only 27. I'll be 28 in February. So to be at this age, I've been told by a lot of veteran coaches that to have this type of football knowledge is a powerful deal. So I want to make sure that I use this power responsibly and give it out back to you guys and help you guys as well as you guys help me strengthen myself. So contact me on Twitter, man, Coach O223. I'm also on multiple football groups and on Facebook, Football Connection, Wing T Offense, Spread Offense, all those things on there, man. You can find me on there. So anyway, man, you guys have a great day. Like I said, I probably will drop another video probably tomorrow, maybe, if the weather permits, because it's supposed to get real bad. But if not, you guys will see me when I'm on here. So like I said, guys, if nobody ever told you, man, keep being freaking awesome, man. You guys are great. Coach O'Neal out.